So I'm from Donovan, Missouri. I've lived in the country my whole life. I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old because I couldn't get along with my father at that time. I lived in the streets until I graduated. I barely graduated because I missed so much school from going out and partying and staying out every night and, living on the streets when I was younger. I ended up meeting the father of my children whenever I was about 19 and I got married. We had our first daughter who's 20 and then our son who's 15. I ended up starting to get in trouble with the law after that. I lost 2 of my best friends and I started using again. And so I dealt with substance abuse for several years and I've been clean for 7 years now. So I was with her dad for 10 years and we separated. The marriage unfortunately did not work out. We were not compatible. We do still try to co-parent and get along as much as we can, but we usually don't have much nice to say to each other. So I actually went to prison, and I did a lot of time in county over my ex-boyfriend and I getting into domestic disputes. And then I ended up doing 2.5, I did a 90-day shock, and then I did 2.5 years in prison because I didn't have a home plan. I lived in shelters. I've lived in domestic abuse or domestic violence shelters. I've stayed on the streets. I've slept at picnic tables. I've slept in the woods. I've just stayed out walking all night just because I've had nowhere to go. I had an apartment. Well, I did the 2.5 years in prison. I got out and they told me I could early out if I went into a program anywhere that I chose that would accept me. So I wrote an acceptance letter and got in over here at Soul Fisher Ministries, and I went through 3 different programs and completed 2.5 years in a program to help get me back on my feet and stuff after prison because I lost everything. And I ended up getting a car, getting a job, getting an apartment, and all has been well for the last 3 years. I've worked 3 jobs, 7 days a week for 3.5 years, and I finally decided to slow down and just work 1 job, and then they cut back my hours and let me go. So I lost my apartment. I couldn't pay 3 months worth of rent. Lost my apartment. Met up with this guy that I was dating recently, and things were going good at first, and we were getting along well, and I thought it was going to work out. But sometimes people have different goals in life, and sometimes they're in different spots in their own life, to where they might not be ready for this, or the other one might not be ready for that. And we had a really hard time communicating. I've been isolated for a long time, and so it's not only just him. I have a hard time communicating sometimes too. But I thought he was going to go to work. I thought he was going to help do things, and I don't see that. I don't see that really happening. He's got all my stuff over at his house. My car's right over at his house. Had to go back there last night. He took my phone, he took my money, he took my medication, and I'm back here down the road from the St. Patrick's Center trying to find another place to live when I had all my stuff together and was doing well and standing on my own 2 feet and things. So I did gain a lot of strength from being able to do that and not have to depend on anyone to do that. Going through all those steps that I had to go through, because you gotta crawl before you can walk, really. And so here I am. I don't want to stay in St. Louis forever. I want to move somewhere else and go see the world and do something with my life. Go back to school. I have some college and stuff. I have my CNA license. I worked as a homemaker for years, a caregiver. I worked as a cashier, just trying to keep anything going, keep food on the table, and keep the bills paid. My children have lived with their father for quite some time, and I get visitations and get to see them. Now they're getting older and moving out on their own and stuff like that, and they do try to communicate with me. It's really complicated because of the distance between us, but I can't go back to where I was living because of the situation. There's no place for me down there, it's just a little small town. You only get paid $9 an hour max. There's nothing there. And so I'm just trying to regroup and just get by. I want to keep my job. I'm working right now. I don't want to lose my job over this. Everything that I pulled together over these last few years, it's all going to fall back into place. So every time I've lost stuff, I just go out and I get it again. Just go get it again every single time. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to lose hope. I'm still going to have faith, and I'm still going to believe that things are going to work out for the best. And I don't always have to be in a relationship. I've always thought for the longest time I have to be in a relationship, and I really needed that time. I 7 years pretty much by myself just to grow independently and, see what I like, what I want to do and stuff. So, here I am, and I'm hoping that I can, get into a place soon, get back on my feet, not run around the streets all the time. I don't want to run around the streets all the time, I don't want to live like that. I want to be happy, just be able to be chill, relaxed, comfortable, be around people that care about me, that actually care about me, and not just half-ass friends, half-ass boyfriends, don't even want you whenever you have something for them, When your paycheck gone, they don't give a fuck anymore, that kind of stuff. That's what that's what I've been dealing with. I'm not saying everybody like that, but that's the kind of people that I seem to attract. And so, anyways, I'm moving forward from that relationship. I'm not going back to that relationship. It happened really fast. We've only been together for 4 months. We're already fighting already, so it's not going to work. And I don't think that he's going to step up, and I don't think he's going to, the things that I have been doing for him are not going to be returned. Those things aren't going to be returned because, he don't think about nothing but himself. At the end of the day, every day. When you're taking money out of somebody's purse, when they're going out and buying you shoes and clothes and feeding you and putting a roof over your head and you're taking money from them, that's ridiculous. And then make it sound like I ran around losing my money all over town with my purse unzipped. Yeah, that's what happened. But, it's all coming together. I talk to a counselor once a month, and I take maintenance meds and things for anxiety and stuff. And I am moving forward. I'm staying clean. I'm staying away from the drugs. It's not easy because I have days where, life's just hard anyways for anybody, much less whenever it's more complicated. So, I'm going to continue to stay on that route. I lost my mom a couple years ago. My dad and I don't have a very good relationship. We tried to work on our relationship a little bit this year, but we just, we don't have much to talk about because I've been gone since I was 16. So, I have a brother. He works out on the road, and he's a good guy. I have 2 nephews. I have no sisters or anything. And I have one aunt and uncle up here in Fenton, and the rest of my family is down in the country. So I wanted to stay up here because there's more opportunity than down there. But, I just got to let things fall into place and just, keep on believing in myself and staying strong, That's what we all got to do in this messed up world. For real. But anyways, that's my story.
What advice would you give a young girl who's thinking about stepping out into the streets because she doesn't want to follow rules, she wants to do what she wants to do? What advice would you tell her?
Well, I guess the same thing that I've told my children, my daughter for years. You don't want to go through the things that I've been through. I've been tasered, I've been boot stomped by the cops, I've been to jail, I've been to prison. I've done at least 2 years in the county besides the prison time. I've wasted a lot of years of my life that I can't get back.
If you had time to go back and talk to a young Miss Ashley, knowing what you know today, what would you tell her?
Just to stay focused. A lot of stuff ain't worth it. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth it for you to give all your energy to something that's not going to give anything back, Just to stay focused and stay strong, and don't be out here messing around. Just do what you got to do, Take care of yourself. Go to school. Be a good mom,
Do you have any social media where you can be contacted? People want to reach out for resources. Do you have Cash App? Do you have anything where you can be contacted?
Well, my phone, somebody hacks my phone every time I have it on anyways. And so one of my phones, I got 2 phones, and somebody hacked it and turned it off. And then my other phone, I have Facebook account. I use Facebook and Messenger and stuff whenever I have my phone.
Got address? I'm still use my address.
In closing, Ms. Ashley, if there's anybody you want to say something to who may be looking for you, worried about you, wondering if you're okay, now's the time you can say something to them.
So, I know I haven't called my family because they already told me that the shit was going to end up like this, and I didn't listen, But I do want to tell them that I love them, and I miss them, and I do care, and I'm still staying strong, even though it's not easy. I'm not
Speak it out,
giving
Grace.
up, you know.
Speak
I'm
it
not
out.
giving up. I'm just having a setback right now, you know. It's not anything that I've never been through before that I can't do, you know. And there's nothing I can't do if I try, you know. And I just want to tell them that I love them. And I may not always have the right words to say, but I do
Don't feel
love them.
bad. Holler it out. Let it out. Let it out, baby. Get that off your pressure. Let it out. Speak it. Let it out. Don't you hear? You feel better. Let it out.
We appreciate you taking time out with us, Miss Ashley, and we wish you all the best in your road to getting back to a normal life. Thank you.
Yeah.